welcome back to Beauty Bee and to my April update for my Pan Those eyeshadows. Now, my YouTube analytics tells me that the great majority of people who watch these Pan Those eyeshadows videos are probably very, very aware of what these videos are. If you are not and you want the drawn out version of the rules that I use, you can go look in the description box or up in the cards where I will link the playlist that has the introduction video as well as all of my updates. To save time, I'm going to gloss over that in this video, but I have 6 shades in this project, and let's start with the ones that will not be rolling out this month. The first is this shimmery yellow gold. This is from Wet n Wild. It was in their 32 pan palette, which that is actually the name of the palette. That's not just my description of it. Now, this has been in for 3 full months, which usually I try to have things at 30 uses by the end of 3 months. However, I was really slacking last month, so this is currently at 22 uses. So 8 uses over the next month I think should be very doable. I do like this shade. It's really pretty, it performs well, and I think now that we will be getting into May, this shade and its pretty sunshine yellow quality will be something that I'm looking for a bit more than I have been this past month. But I am excited to be able to play with this for another month. Another shade that will not be rolling out is from the same palette. This is, again, from Wet n Wild. This is a light blue that has been in for 2 months at this point. I have used this 11 times, so again, slacking a little bit. But again, I feel like this will be a really fun color to use in the summer. So I have a lot of uses left on this. I have 19 uses left on this, or if I hit pan in before that, but I don't think that is very likely at all unless I am joining the Blue Man group. The next shade, and the last one that is not rolling out, is this matte taupe. This was originally from a NYX palette, but it has been repressed. Now, I have used this 12 times in the past month. It's only been in for 1 month. And if I want to roll things out after 3 months, which, as I've stated before, is generally my goal, I need to use them at least 10 times a month. So I'm actually more than on track to hit my goal on this and roll it out in 2 months' time. Though I think there's a non-zero chance that I will actually hit pan on it before then. I don't know how well you can tell, but I did not do a very good job of repressing really any of the shadows that I repressed into really a flat surface. They're definitely concave. So while there is definitely a lot of product in there before I hit pan, I've also been using this sometimes to contour, so it goes a little bit faster than it would if I was just using it as an eyeshadow. Now for these shades that I'm rolling out, the first is, again, from the Wet n Wild 32 pan palette. We are not drawing any from that this month, mostly because I've depotted it and don't know how to number them, but also because I've drawn so many in this project. This is a berry shade. It's matte. It's been in for 4 months, and I finally reached 30 uses. I actually reached it yesterday. I really do like this shade. It's very pretty. I've been surprised actually at how wearable it's been for both winter and spring. Since it's been in this product for so long, I've gotten to experiment with it. I tried to say that way too many times before it worked. With it over a pretty wide variety of seasons and types of weather. I mean, it's been super cold, -20 degrees, and it's also been 90 degrees in the time that I've been using this, and I really do enjoy it. I think it's really, really lovely, and I don't know that this was something I'd used more than maybe once or twice before it was in this project, but I think it is something that I will continue to reach for quite often going forward because it is such a lovely shade. Another one that we'll be rolling out is this shimmery white. Actually has quite a bit of gold to it, though probably can't get that to show up on camera. I have used this 33 times. I only rolled it in 1 month ago. However, this is a really easy shade for me to use for every day because it makes a really good inner corner highlight. It makes a good brow bone highlight. It's just, you know, a generally useful, easy shade. Goes with pretty much anything. And I have actually made a really good dent in this. I think that I will probably hit pan in a not terribly long time. And I will be sure to include it in one of these updates if and when I do. So there's 2 of the rollouts. My third rollout is this from this Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air palette, or at least is currently residing in this Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air palette. It is this copper shade. This is actually a mixture of, I think 3 different sleek eyeshadows that I had. And it's a really lovely shade. My goal on this was to double the size of the pan or use it 30 times, whichever happened first. And I have far more than doubled the size of the pan. I will put up a picture of this from when I rolled it in. Now, it's been in for 2 months and I used it 8 times. It really did not take a ton of use. I really was enjoying using this all over the lid. I enjoyed using it in the outer corner if I was using the yellow to deepen things up a bit, add a bit more contrast. It also really helped to pull the yellow more towards gold when contrasted with the copper. It really seemed to bring out the gold in that shade, and I thought it worked out really nicely. So before we roll in next month's new shades, I want to put together a little slideshow of some of the looks that I've done this month using these shades. This month I definitely either really went for it and was like sparkle and color and winged liner, all of it, or I went quite minimal. I'm interested to see what I'm feeling next month, and I think that will largely depend on what we choose right now. So I have my random number generator pulled up, numbers 1 through 94, and let's start. All right, 40 is the first one. 30 and 5. So shade 40 is going to be for my NYX Ash palette, and it will be the first shade in that palette, which is also my favorite shade in that palette, so that's fun. It is this, well, ash shade. It's sort of an ash blonde. I love this color. This is the best neutral shade on me. It is so easy to wear for every day. It's gorgeous. I love this. There is that. Shade 30 is from my Maybelline Chill Brunch Neutrals palette. I actually think this is a shade that I'm trying to pan this year. Let me pull it out. This is my gold shade from this palette, which is again a really, really stunning neutral color. Big fan. Love it. And then shade number 5 is going to be for my NYX Ultimate Utopia palette. Okay, this is not one that I have worked on previously in this project. This is going to be this peach shade, shimmery peach. I have worked on actually quite a few different shades from this palette. I've worked on this one and the other peach as well as this terracotta shade. So I guess my random number generator really wants me to be getting use out of peaches. And shimmery neutrals are very much the thing this month, I guess. Actually, that might be a little too similar. Yeah. I am still going to make a point of using this peach over the next month, at least a few times, but I think I want to roll in something else just because with it and the yellow and the rose, sort of peachy rose gold, those are too similar. So let's generate a new shade, number 93, which is going to be from my larger singles palette, and it's going to be the second to last shade in it, which is this one. Cool. This is originally from a Wet n Wild quad, I believe Petalette. It was the transition shade in there. I have tended to use this in the past more as a blush than a eyeshadow. It is a really beautiful color. I actually think that I may well be able to hit pan within 30 uses, which would be exciting. I definitely had at least a little bit of pan in this shade when it was still in the quad, but clearly I've repressed it. So there are 4 of the colors that we're going to be working on this month. Let me swatch the other 2. I cannot say that this is the most cohesive color story that I've ever had to work with, but there are definitely shades that I think will look really nice together, and I love how many neutrals I have this month. I think that those will make it a lot easier to incorporate multiple of these shades into a single look. I also think that having these neutrals will really make it easy for me to bring in some interesting shades that I want to play with from some other palettes, from my other singles, just from generally shades that aren't in this project and otherwise might not be getting a ton of use, and really make some interesting looks with them. Allow them to really shine through and just use the neutrals that are in this project to round out and fill in the rest of the look. And with that, I think I'm set up for this next month. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and let me know if you are also doing this project. I really enjoy this setup. I love just working on a few shades at a time, and I would love to watch some other people's progress. Thank you so much for watching. Consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed, and I hope that I will see you next time. Bye-bye.